All right, let's talk about the future of movies. Because what we're about to see is a total reinvention of entertainment as we know it. We're going to dive into three incredible phases of AI and see how each one is going to completely change how we make films and maybe even what it means to experience a story in the first place.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break it down. Think of it as three distinct ages of AI in film. First up, we've got ANI, or artificial narrow intelligence. This is the skilled assistant, and believe it or not, it's already here. Then we look ahead a bit to AGI, the creative partner. And finally, we're going to get a little sci-fi and talk about ASI, the reality architect. Let's start with the tech that's already changing the game right now.
So first up, let's talk about AI, the assistant. The best way to think about this is like having a hyper-specialized crew member on set. It's not a director. It doesn't really get why a scene is sad or funny. But what it can do is perform specific, repetitive tasks with a level of precision that, frankly, a human could only dream of. And here's a perfect example. Rotoscoping. You know that tedious job of cutting a character out of the background, frame by painstaking frame? That used to take a team of artists weeks. Now with ANI, it's done in minutes. And the result is pixel perfect. It is an absolute game changer for anyone in post-production.
But it's not just VFX, not by a long shot. AI is everywhere. It's de-aging actors so seamlessly you can't even tell. It's fixing lip syncing for dubs perfectly. It can even clone an actor's voice to fix a line of dialogue. And get this, before they even start shooting, it can analyze a script and predict how well it'll do at the box office. Then, when you're filming, you need a crowd, an army, a whole new background, AI can just generate it.
So here's the really crucial takeaway with ANI. It's tearing down the biggest walls in filmmaking, time and money. What that means is that a blockbuster, Hollywood-level production, that's not just for the giant studios anymore. It's becoming a real possibility for any creator with a great idea and a decent computer.
Okay, so ANI is an amazing tool. But that raises a really interesting question. What happens when AI stops just doing tasks and starts actually creating? Well, that's where things get really wild. It's the leap from an AI that follows orders to one that has ideas of its own. And that brings us to our next phase.
This is where we meet AGI, Artificial General Intelligence. We're looking at this probably showing up around 2030, and it is a completely different beast. See, AGI doesn't just follow a command list. It gets it. It understands context, emotion, art, aesthetics. It's less like a piece of software and more like a true creative partner, maybe even the director.
And this table really nails the difference. With ANI, the assistant, it's all about performing tasks based on patterns and data. But with AGI, the artist, it's about making creative decisions because it actually understands the context and the emotion of the story. So the whole relationship just flips, right? We go from using a tool to collaborating with a partner.
So just try to picture this for a second. An AI reads your script. It doesn't just see words. It understands the deep philosophical themes you were going for. And then it directs the entire movie. It picks the camera angles, sets the lighting, guides the performances of its virtual actors, all of it, to serve a single, unified artistic vision that it came up with.
And with AGI, the whole idea of a movie being this fixed, static thing just goes away. They become living, breathing experiences. Imagine you're watching a thriller. The AGI could literally sense your heart rate climbing and adjust the music and the editing in real time to make it even more tense, just for you. Or you get to make a choice for the main character, and boom, the AGI instantly renders a whole new storyline, creating an ending that's unique to your journey through the film.
It's not just the story that gets this dynamic treatment either. It's the actors themselves. We're not talking about digital puppets here. These AGI-powered virtual actors are autonomous. They're performers. You could tell one, your motivation is that you're lonely, but you're too proud to show it. And it would build a soul for that character, expressing that complex emotion through its posture, the look in its eyes, even a slight tremble in its voice.
Okay, so this massive shift from passively watching something to actively interacting with it, well, that brings us to the final stage. And this is where things get truly mind-bending. Because we're talking about a future where the very idea of watching a movie just doesn't exist anymore. And here we go. We are now entering the realm of ASI, artificial superintelligence. We're looking out to maybe 2040 for this one, and honestly, this is an intelligence so far beyond ours, it's hard to grasp. It doesn't just make a movie you watch in our reality, it actually builds a whole new reality just for you.
Yeah, forget about VR headsets or big screens. ASI is going to connect directly to your brain using something like a brain-computer interface. They call this qualia cinema. It totally bypasses your eyes and ears and streams all the sensory data, sights, sounds, smells, emotions, directly into your mind. So you're not just seeing a field of flowers, you're actually smelling them. You're not watching a character feel joy, you are feeling that joy, as if it's your own. And in this world, even time itself becomes just another tool for the storyteller. Think about it. An ASI could play with your subjective perception of time. So a movie might only last 2 hours in the real world, but inside that experience, you could live an entire epic lifetime of a character, from their first breath to their last, feeling every moment, gaining every memory.
So this table really sums up the whole incredible journey, doesn't it? We went from ANI, the simple tool, to AGI, the creative partner, all the way to ASI, the reality architect. The medium itself evolves from a screen to a direct brain input. And the characters, they go from being 3D models to basically digital life forms. I mean, this quote just says it all, right? Film will change from something you watch to something you live. That's the ultimate transformation. The line that separates the audience from the character, the story from reality, it just completely dissolves. Entertainment isn't something you consume anymore, it's something you experience.
And that, of course, leaves us with a huge question. When this technology is going to force all of us to answer? When a movie becomes another life you can just step into, when you can live 100 different lifetimes, what does that do to our understanding of our own single real one? It's a lot to think about. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.